default. I picked that again. I have noticed that like the mic, if I stop talking, like it doesn't pick up a ton of background noise much anymore. It'll still pick up like this, but not nearly as well as it probably used to. This mic is like 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old. Hopefully I won't need to buy one anytime soon. It sounds fine to me. I have my headphones plugged into it, so I hear what you guys hear, supposedly. Um, dude, huh? That could have just been me. That could have just been me. Higher and higher pitched. Once I talked, it stopped. So was it like that? Because I was doing kissy sounds, um, but I don't know. Hi, Pie. I put in nonstop. Oh, okay. The mic might be going funny. I don't know. No one said anything about it yesterday. About that. That could have just been me. I don't know. I don't know. Hi, Pie. I'm doing okay. Apparently the mic is making funny noises sometimes. Um, so let me know if it does. Let me know when it starts doing that again, Keck. If it does it again. If it does it again, let me know. Because the has done weird stuff before, but usually when I like gets nudged, and the cord, the mic disconnects or unplugs technically for a second or two, and then comes back and it's made weird sounds or just static. Um, so, yeah, I don't hear those sounds though, so it's either something up with, I don't know. I don't know. I fix it by just changing the device in OBS. So, um, yeah, it's going okay, Pie. It's going okay. Um, oh, I don't know if you can hear me, Pie, but it's going. Oh no, you have a sub. Never mind. Sorry, I'm blind. um, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, the plan tonight. So, a friend asked like earlier this on Sunday, I think, if we could play Pokemon Tabletop United again this Saturday. He was like, "Sure, that works." But I have nothing planned for this next session of Pokemon Tabletop United. And if you don't know, Pokemon Tabletop United is not like officially licensed or anything. It's just a fan made tabletop RPG that essentially emulates playing the games, but with pen and paper, with a couple other things and stuff. Um, it's pretty good. Playing the game, like combat and stuff, uh, is essentially just, yeah. It's very fun though. We did one session. It was like 2 hours, an hour and a half. I don't know, hour 40 minutes. Yeah, excuse me. They have a website that you can find their digital stuff on. There's no physical books or anything. I think they would get sued to oblivion if they did that. And it's free. The system is free. If you go to their website, I have not in a while, but and over like the past 2 years of me, um, looking into it and stuff like that, um, there has not been any updates to the website. The last update was like playtests for like a Hisuian based, like Legends Arceus based like setting, and that was the last thing, and that was in 2019. When did Legends Arceus release? When did that release? Might have been 2020. Uh, 2022. So maybe it was yeah, maybe it was 2022, I guess. Um, so it hasn't had an update in a while. As far as I know, I have not looked into it at all. But I have enough to play. I have the rulebook and the Pokedex and stuff. Welcome back for the break, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. Um, I appreciate it a lot. And yeah. So, um, hi, Crid. Mwah. How are you, Crid? How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, we hit 940. We hit 940 already. Apparently offline in the middle of the night. Okay. Right. Cool. Hi, Grid. There's plenty of gameplay videos and stuff on YouTube of Pokemon Tabletop United. If you want to see it, how it works, watch it in action and stuff. Um, there's a channel called They Call Me Scooty on YouTube. They do like weekly live streams of it and stuff. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, They Call Me Scooty. Some smooches and go to sleep. Okay, Cred. Yeah, They Call Me Scooty. They do weekly streams, and then I don't know how on top of it they are, but they post later. They post edited down versions of the live streams. I think. I don't know if they still do that. I think they're on like their third or fourth campaign. So, and they use some digital tabletop program to do it all. I'm not smart enough for those. I think that'd be a little too overwhelming. Very cool. Yeah. So, let me get Criddish smooches and we can ramble about it some more. Oops, sorry. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube on how the system works and how to make a character and stuff. Tabletops, yeah. You have that vibe, Pie. I don't know if I already knew that, but no, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's very Pie core. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. My brother is too. He's got a bunch of books for a bunch of stuff. Anyway, sorry. Let me get your smooches. Good. Slow smooches. All right. Let me know if that sound starts again. You're playing D&D right now? Oh boy. I hope you don't mean you're playing it right now, because it's like really early morning for you, isn't it? Unless you have to get up that early to play D&D. Not envious of that. No, right. Okay. I was gonna say, oh, you should probably focus focus on that. Okay. Anyway, sorry. 3:47. Okay. Well, good morning, right? AM. Okay. Here's your smooches, Quid. Thank you for the redeem. Let me know if that weird kissy sound starts up again. That could have just been me, but I don't know. Okay. Hi, Phobos. More good night. Good morning. It's also soon. Oh, okay. Right. If you're up that early, you could either be, you just woke up or you need to go to bed really bad. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Phobos. How are you, Phobos? How are you? Oh no. Phobos got all scratched up. Oh no. Give me, sorry. Thank you, okay. Thank you for this mutual redeem, spirit. Thank you. Hope those were alright for you. Hopefully, there's no weird high pitched kizzy sounds. I don't know what causes that. Like I don't know if that's OBS or what, because when I don't talk, there's not really OBS isn't picking up any audio, so I don't know. I don't know. So, just as a recap for myself and for you guys, this is the continent here. So, I wanted to do Pokemon D&D like 2 or 3 years ago because of a book I got at a convention. The book's called Pokanatomy. It's not an officially licensed Nintendo product. I got the special convention exclusive dark green hardcover with the with gold embossment on it. It's a very nice book, and the author goes through the 151 and then Togepi and explains how, or if they were real, how they would work, how they would function, their biology and all that. And the one that maybe was like, oh, this would be so cool for like a speculative Pokemon, spec Evo, spec bio Pokemon setting, for a tabletop game, was Blastoise's page or entry. In the book, they explain that Blastoise have been so selectively bred for their the power that which they fire water out of their shell, that they've been bred to the domestic Blastoise have been bred to the point where if a Wartortle evolves, and in the book, Wartortle evolves into Blastoise, but they don't have the cannons already in place. It's just the holes in the shell. That if a Blastoise, without getting the cannons attached to them to focus the water, the beams of water, jets of water, that the domestic Blastoise, if it fires without having the cannons, the water bladder in its shell will rupture and it will suffocate internally. It's like, that is so cool. That is so cool. And it made me want to look into it. Playing Pokemon D&D, and I'd seen like Pokemon D&D stuff before, where I think it was those guys that talk about special effects and stuff all the time. I don't remember what they're called, what their channel's name is, but they did like I think it was on a secondary channel. They did a D&D one shot where they used D&D monsters as Pokemon, and then they had like an arena fight with them and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool, but that's not what I'm looking for. And then there's a YouTube channel called The Boarding Party, and they did a 100 episode Pokemon D&D campaign, and the DM and the players and stuff, they homebrewed the whole thing using 5th edition's systems. I was like, that's a lot of work. I don't think I could do that. Which is still very cool. Over 100 episodes. Yeah, they did it for a long time, and now they're working on their own RPG system called Rifkin. They haven't posted it in 7 months, so uh, were working on I don't know if they're done or still working on it or if they stopped. They were working on their own system with their own detachable creatures called Riftkin. Um, and yeah, I never finished their campaign, those videos. So um, I was very far behind. But yeah, they homebrewed their own system. I was like, that's really cool, but that's too much. And then I found PTU, and then they call me Scooty. And Scooty it is a pretty good GM, and PTU I think is just better because it's made for Pokemon, right? And it's very cool that it exists. And I think there's a handful of other Pokemon tabletop systems out there. Um, couldn't tell you what they're called off the top of my head, but they are there. um, but yeah, it's very cool. So, um, anyway, I wanted to do this, make. And then I found PTU and I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. So my setting, I wanted it to be like Wild West to like the waning days of the Wild West. Or I guess currently the setting is like um basically around the time when they start building the Continental Railroad, and it's just a hodgepodge of like colonial America and the Wild West and stuff, all that stuff. Yeah. There's not um there's powered light now currently, and there's Pokeballs and stuff, but it's just like it's Pokemon Wild West. That's what I wanted to do. That just sounded cooler to me. So that's what this is. I don't have all of this blocked out. I have the biomes kind of blocked out, but they're not like named or these areas named or anything. Um, so it's called the Pectian region because Peck or Pecti, something like that. I don't know. It means sin or something in Latin, according to Google Translate. So, the Wild West cowboys, outlaws, and stuff. So I thought it'd fit. Um, um, so, pretty much all of the infrastructure and the largest settlement is right here. Hold on, I can zoom in more than that. 250, 300. That's close enough, I suppose. It's called Moss Bay. It's the biggest city on the continent. People sailed here to explore and stuff from the old world, the Pokemon old world. Um, and this is Demergo. It's a rival colony to Moss Bay from a different governmental system or something. I don't know. They're just rivals. But this is basically Florida here. um, because Moss Bay, they settled here. They arrived here first. Um, the people that settled America, which I think means swamp or something. um, they had to settle for here. And then this is just like basically a giant peat bog swamp place. So they have to their development is a little slower than Moss Bay because they have to drain a bunch of the land. They have to drain the swamp, and that takes a while. But they're like the second largest settlement on the continent. And then this mountain range here, at least this chunk of it, this range does not have a name, not yet. is called the Bertic Spine because Bertic like to live here. Um, and they, it's, you know, so I'm trying to remember all of what I came up with off the top of my head. Um, anyway, it's this giant mountain range that splits the sliver of the East Coast from the interior and then the West Coast. Um, and so the only way to get to the interior here, um, from the East Coast to the interior, is either you sail down and around and go this way, which can take a while. But this area is controlled by Demerico, so that's probably not the best idea. Or you can go north and then end up in the Arctic. Or you climb the mountains, which is easiest in the summer. But even in the summer, they're usually covered in at least a foot to like half a foot of snow on the peaks and stuff. So it's still not an easy journey uh, over the mountains. Or they discovered a extensive Durant colony, a tunnel made by a Durant colony that the Durants have not been seen ever. It was found abandoned, and the settlers expanded a central tunnel that goes all the way from one end of the mountain range through the other, and that's usually the safest way. And there's a bunch of mining going on in here and all that. And then this is Marrowbone. This is like the biggest settlement outside in the interior, and then there's a bunch of like tiny towns all throughout here, but not a ton. It's a largely mining town, and then there's a fossil lab because the surrounding area and the mines and this mountain range here are full of Pokemon fossils. um, I don't know if I put this in my World Anvil stuff, but along the range here, on the on the other side here, I don't know if you can see my cursor. um, it's uh, uh, it's that the surrounding rock there is or was an ancient river or lake. So there are a bunch of Dreepy there. Map of a book you read once. Do you know Aragon? I know it's a movie. I never read Aragon, unfortunately. I think maybe my brother did. Um, when I was younger, I read a different. I read the Pillage series of books. Those had dragons in them, and then I can't remember what they were called, but there was a book series about this sculptor guy who sculpted dragons out of clay, and then they came to life. I can't remember what it's called. The Fire Within, that's right. I think I read the first two Fire Within books when I was in elementary. All the covers are like a close up of a dragon's eye. um, yeah, I have not read those in forever. I think I read the first two. I don't really remember much about them. I don't remember much. But those were the dragon books I read when I was in elementary. And then my dad had some of the Pillage books because the first book is called Pillage. It's a book series by Obert Sky, which, where I'm from, Obert Sky is a big deal because he's Mormon or was. Um, I think, or maybe I'm pulling that. No, I'd probably think of. I'm thinking of the guy that wrote uh, Eleven Thumps. The guy that wrote 11 Thumps. Because he was Mormon. Or was, I don't know. And he, the guy, okay, let me look up who wrote 11 Thumps. 11 Thumps. Oh, it is Obert Sky. Okay. So Obert Sky wrote 11 Thumps and the Pillage series of books, which is a trilogy. Um, it's about a teenager who has to go move to the countryside because his parents died or something. Um, and he goes and lives in this giant mansion that his family owned or something. And he finds a couple smooth rocks in a old cobble silo, and then um, he does some. I can't remember what happens, how he hatches them, but they hatch into dragons. Dragons hatch out of the eggs, and then they rip the town apart, and then die after like a week or two or something like that. And then uh, there's only one egg, or they leave one big like pearlescent egg, and that's the dragon in the second book. I don't remember what happens in the third book. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, Obert Sky in my area was a big deal because he was he was an author and he was Mormon. So he came to our school once or twice, I think, maybe just once, to talk about Levin Thumps. I know my dad read the Levin Thumps books. The only thing I remember about Levin Thumps is that Levin Thumps is like a fantasy adventure thing, and in it's like a they go to an alternate world or some alternate dimension, and in the alternate dimension, I don't. This is all vague memories, but they have this travel system where you you grab a rope, and then your body weaves into the rope and then travels through the rope, and then you come out the other side, other end of the rope, which was that's kind of cool. And the only character I really remember was there was like a living tree, like a sentient tree person, or just a tree that could talk, and then um, but you had to be like magical to talk to him or something, and then he got cut down and then turned into toothpicks. So one of the covers of one of the books is an angry toothpick whispering in someone's ear. Um, that's all I remember. I'd have to ask my dad about it. It's been so long since I've read uh, the Pillage books, and I don't know if I even ever read Levin Thumps. Um, I might have, or one of my teachers read it to us in school. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Um, so they're currently working in the setting here. They're currently working on a rail system to make travel from one end of the continent to the other a little faster. Shine West is the settlement on the other side of the continent that was founded fairly recently because it takes forever to get to one side to the other. So they have infrastructure and they've started work on their side of the railroad, but it's still a very young community. Anyway, that's all I have named. Um, Besides some other stuff, that this gulf here is called the Gulf of Gong because dugong come uh they swim south to the Gulf because it's a fairly shallow and large gulf. So large predators like Sharpedo and Gyarados have a hard time getting in there. Um, and so pods of dugong swim south and then lay their eggs and raise their baby seals till they're strong enough and old enough to swim north back up here to the Arctic, where, you know, and then some dugong and some seal stay in the Gulf their whole lives, because why not? um, so it's an event every couple of years, every year or two, when the dugong swim south. Kind of like in Stardew, there's that jellyfish event where the lantern jellies or something. A really touching cutscene in Stardew Valley. I do have articles about all these places in my World Anvil here. Um, yeah. Where's the introductory thing? Oh, right there. Okay. So I have this little blurb uh, of the setting here. I don't know. I don't really remember all of it, so I might change some of it or later. Hi, Ninetail. Mwah. Hi, Ninetail. How you doing? The mic was making weird noises at the beginning of stream apparently, so let me know if it starts making noises. Hope it doesn't. Mwah, 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 mwah. Sorry, that smooch earlier was kind of loud. But good to see you, Ninetail. Good to see you. Is that someone rubbing their belly? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get you a good girl.
Ninetail, you're a very good girl. Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking and chatting. Spending time with us on the streams. Thank you. You've worked very, very hard this week so far. And I'm very, very proud of you. You're very,
Hi, TJ. My day is good. My day is good.
Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl. Ninetale, thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. I think things are all a better place. In my humble opinion, anyway. Very, very good girl. Good girl, Ninetale. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl, Ninetale, good girl. Such a good girl, such a good girl, yes you are. Look at you, such a good girl, yes you are. A very, very good girl, yes you are. Yes you are such a good girl, 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 good girl. Good girl, Ninetale, good girl. Such a good girl, yes you are. Yes you are such a good girl. Good girl, Ninetale, good girl. Such a good girl, yes you are. Yes you are such a good girl. Good girl, 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 good girl.
There you go, Ninetale. Thank you for the redeem square. Thank you. If that was all right for you. Okay. Anyway. So, yeah, this is the setting. In case you weren't here earlier, this map was made in Wonder Draft, which I did some research into map building programs a couple years ago. Excuse me, like 2 or 3 years ago, when I started wanting to run a Pokemon Tabletop United game. And it's a really nice program. Apparently, I can update. Um, but yeah, it's really nice. You could do. There's a bunch of terrain settings here. Made this with brushes, and then um, it's not free. When I got it like 3 years ago, it was $30. It was $30. Um, yeah. uh, but it's a really nice map building tool. There's a bunch of stuff over here that I've not touched this since last time we looked at this on stream. So, uh, apparently you can also use it with with tablets and stuff. So that's cool. Yeah, this is uh the map. It's it's fun to play around with too, and you get a bunch of there's a pretty sizable library of symbols and little things. Like you can get little houses to put around, and cactuses and trees, and a bunch of different kinds of mountains. And you can pick transparent mountains and trees, and they'll change color depending on what color of terrain or whatever you brush them on top of. So that's why this random one here is like brown. um, it's pretty cool. It's very cool. So, I need to do. So we have a set session planned for Saturday. I don't have a time yet, but I need to do some encounter and like planning. So I figure that to help motivate myself to do it. We'll do some on stream. We'll see if we can get to it. I need to do a lot of rereading of the rules and stuff because it's been months since I've looked at them really. Thank you for the 35 stream streak, Ari. Thank you. Mwah. How are you? Good to see you, Ari. Hope you're doing right, dear. Yeah. Call you mommy? You want me to? I don't have to be a redeemer, right? You'll have to redeem good girl, good boy, or whatever. Or the make me say anything redeem. If you want that. So, I guess if you guys, I don't know, I'm open to some input here. So I'm still doing a lot of the world building. Like I'm still trying to decide where the Pokemon came from. I have like decided that they're like either extraterrestrial or supernatural or like magic stuff, right? So I still have to work out the origins of where the Pokemon as a whole came from. And I don't know like who the bad guy is. I don't know who that yet. I'm still working that out too. Magic, yep. Okay, Ari. Okay, Ari, I get it. You're fine. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I'll do it.
Harry, do you want me to call you a good mommy? What exactly are you looking for here? I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, well, you just asked me to say mommy. So, mommy, 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 mommy. Clip it. No. 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 You don't have to do that. No, you don't have to do that.
All right. So we'll do a good girl, just a good mommy. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Harry. Very good, mommy. Very good, mommy, Harry. We're not gonna do the whole rigmarole. We'll just do this for a bit. Very good, mommy, Harry. Very good, mommy. Harry, you worked very hard this week. I'm very proud of you. Very good, mommy. Good mommy. Good mommy.
Okay. There you go, Ari. Thank you for the redeems, Ari. Thank you. Hopefully those were alright for you. You don't gotta clip that. You do not need to clip that at all. So it's oh no. Oh no. Dead. Oh no. Oh, you'll clip it? Okay. I don't have Bitcoin. I don't have Bitcoin. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Okay. So, yeah. I need to read up on the rules. So, let me pull those up. um, so I need to. We need to plan some encounters and stuff. Um, so should I probably tell you guys what happened to the first session, so you can help me come up with stuff. um, so I have 3 players, and then I have 3 other friends, and so I split my friends into 2 groups because having 6 player characters and then all their Pokemon at once is a little much. So I split them into groups of 3. So one group is my brother, one of my friends, and then his wife, and those are the players I have right now. My other 3 friends still need to make their characters and pick their starters and stuff. Um, uh, anyway, so my brother is like a mountain man kind of archetype, and wants to specialize in dark types. And then my friend is a cowboy or marksman, bounty hunter kind of guy. He has a gun. Because there are supplemental PDFs for Pokemon Tabletop United that give you guidance for like a cyberpunk or sci-fi setting, fantasy setting, stuff setting inspired by Game of Thrones. And in the fantasy setting, there are martial classes, so you can play as just like a guy that fights, so you don't have to train Pokemon and stuff. And one of those is a marksman. Um, and their skills are crazy. They do a lot of damage. Um, and then his wife is a and in the fantasy supplement, they have elementalist classes where you're a person, but you can attune or what's it called? I don't know. You can use Pokemon elemental powers and stuff, and there's one for each Pokemon type. And she is a dragon type elementalist, and they're crazy cool. Um, she gets to use Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail as a person, um, and can do a bunch of other stuff. Um, so they can yeah, so they can make their weapon attacks do dragon type damage, and then cast use Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail, and Dragon Rage and a Rush. I can do a bunch of cool stuff. Her character is very cool. She's her character um, hails from a family of fairy type elementalists that are very they have a lot of influence and power in Moss Bay, and she was born a dragon type elementalist. So, and her starter is a Dino, not Audino, a Dino, the the little dragon dark type Pokemon with that has like the bangs that cover his eyes, and he's got a big head, and then he evolves into the two-headed Zoilus, and then um, whatever the three-headed one's called. I can't remember. Hydreigon. I later pick a dragon type as a starter because I don't know when she's gonna catch a dragon type. And it's cool. It's cool. Um. Anyway, so she ran away from home with her baby Dino, and is currently on the run. And so during the session, I wrote or came up with this little test combat trial thing to see if we like how the game plays. Excuse me, because my friend, he said he wanted the only Pokemon he really wants is a Tailo. His starter's a Trico, but he wanted a Tailo. So on the in the opener markets and stuff on the pier of Moss Bay, there's a guy that raises Pidgeys and Spearow and stuff for like falconing and raising them for like as messenger birds. And he was given a Tailo that got stranded on a boat, well, on its way to the Pectian region from the old world. So they went. He said he would trade the Tailo to them for a Wimpod because he needed another one, so he could make Wimpod eggs to feed to his birds. So they went and they found 2 Wimpods in some rocks on the shore outside of town, and then my friend proceeded to shoot one with his gun and put a hole clean through it and just killed it, or it fainted it. And then there was a bigger one. The bigger one got shot, and the smaller one just kind of ran away and was going to run away. And my friend's wife's character, I don't know if it's from her dragon elementalist class or what. Let me see. Regal Challengers is in here. Let's see. No, it's only on that page. Oh, no, there's 2 pages. Okay. So ah no, it just lowers speed. Never mind. She has some ability or something from a skill or something that lets her issue commands to Pokemon that are neutral in terms of how much they like you. So there's a mechanic where Pokemon that you like are scared or hurt, or you're fighting, would hate you. So they have a negative friendship thing or whatever. It's a friendship mechanic. If they have neutral to like level 1 to 2 friendship, even if they're not her Pokemon, she can issue commands to them and they'll do it, which is really cool. So she told the Wimpod to stop and then picked it up and just kind of held it the whole time. And then uh, they dragged the Wimpod that got shot to the Pokemon Center and then healed it and then traded it to the guy for the Talo. And then they met my brother's character. And then they also did some shopping. And then so in Pokemon Tabletop Unite, there's a mechanic where you can type shift a Pokemon. Let's see, where can I find it? Where would that be? Oh, it's loyalty. Loyalty. I don't know where it would be. Or is it type change? Let's see. Type changes. Yeah. Pokemon type change. So, where you can change a Pokemon's type. And if it's dual type, you pick which one to replace. Which is really cool. So my brother, who's a dark type ace, wants to type shift all of his Pokemon to dark types. Because ace type trainers, type aces, you get boosts and stuff for every Pokemon of that type you're specking into. And you really only get the bonuses and stuff from it if you have at least 2 dark types. So he caught a male Nidoran and wants to type shift it into dark poison, which is like the best typing in the game in all of Pokemon besides Ghost Normal, which is why there's only one normal ghost type. Hisui and Zoroark and stuff. So it's very cool. Anyway, they're going, and then this guy who I came up with on the spot, his name is like the Great Zamboni or something. He does like this. He does this parlor trick or whatever, and then type shifts a Magikarp into a water electric type, and it's all very cool. And then everyone's like distracted, being amazed by that as shadowy guy gives. So in the city, because I originally wanted to do all of this because of Blastoise. Every street corner has a Blastoise on it with a little firefighter's hat, and the guy gives, or some shadowy person in like a cloak, gives a Blastoise on the street corner a Poke Treat or a Poke Puff, whatever, and it eats it, and then the Blastoise goes crazy, and then they fight it, and then they put him to sleep, and then the Trico bullet seeds him, and then my friend shoots him with his rifle, and then he goes down. The Blastoise didn't even get to act. So, and then they take it to the Pokemon Center, and then that was the end of the session. So, yeah. Oh, it's called type sync, not type shift. Type sync. Let's see. Type sync. You have to have an elemental connection, a type linked class, or a type linked class, adept, medicine, occult, or tech education. Right. Right. Welcome back, Fabric, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. So, I'm thinking because I could plan for like encounters if they decide to climb the mountain or go through the mines. I could do that. Or I come up with some more stuff for them to do in the city. Because one of the player characters, she's on the run from her rich family. So maybe they send Pokemon to find her. Maybe we'll do that. That sounds easy enough. And then whatever happens after that happens. I've done it before. Specking a Pokemon, like starting a Pokemon out for an encounter, isn't actually too hard. You just need to, let's see. I think the book recommends you just dump all their stat points into an attack type, or an attack stat, a defense stat, and speed, and then maybe HP. Because defense, your defense stat determines how much damage you reduce, how much reduced damage you take, something like that. I need to look into that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see. Types and contexts of combat. Commanding Pokemon. Switch, movement and positioning. Yeah, so this game has a bunch of like grid-based things. Like a bunch of attacks are like cones or a line similar to D&D spells. Yeah, so you just yeah, and then you add your special attack stat or attack stat to the damage you do, and then the target reduces the damage by their damage stat. Additionally, for every 5 points a Pokemon or trainer has in defense, they gain +1 physical evasion up to a maximum of 6, +6 at 30 defense. So when you're hit by an attack, you can either pick, I think, you can, depending on the style of attack, you can either pick to defend with that type of defense or your speed. But defense is usually better. Because speed only doesn't reduce damage taken, it just raises your evasion, which increases the AC of the attack. So AC in this game, specific moves have AC, and so let's see. Let me find a Pokemon move. Let's look up. Let's go with Bubble Beam. So Bubble Beam's AC is 2. So at base, AC Bubble Beam adds 2 to the roll. So in this game, you roll d6s, a number of d6s to do actions, and then your accuracy roll is still a d20. Hi James. Mwah. How are you, sweet? How you doing? So you roll a d20 to determine if you hit. So how I wrote down Wimpod stats and stuff in my book. Excuse me. have a Corfish here. I think Corfish has Bubble Bean. I know it has Bubble. Okay. Hi, Phobos. You're a good, handsome guy and told me that you're sweetheart of a sweetness bear. Okay. Okay, Phobos. You know, that's not really how that's supposed to work, but alright. Giggle face? What does that mean? What does that mean? You know, uh, it's supposed to be, I don't know if it says it. I don't, it's fine. That works. But typically you type in what you want me to say, like, specifically. Okay. Eric had me call her mommy, and now Phobos wants me to call him handsome. Okay, and that's fine. That's just fine. Don't lick me, James. Don't lick me. Why do you guys like licking me? Don't do that.
Phobos, you're a good, handsome guy. Sorry. You're a good, handsome guy. And you love your sweetest sweetheart of sweetness bear. There you go.
Here you go, Phobos. So, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna do this. See if I can remember how to do this. All right. So, um, this Corfish that I started out for an encounter that I didn't end up using. As Hyper Cutter, attack can be lowered. Okay, that doesn't matter then. Here's a d20. So, we'll say this Corfish is attacking Blastoise with Bubble. Bad idea. Use my voice to sleep. Okay, for both. Mwah. Good night, sweetheart. Don't forget to brush your teeth. So Bubble's base AC is 2. Make sure I'm doing this right. Let me pull up the PDF here. So I don't need that. Combat, initiative, action types, combat stats. Okay, attack is only added there. Accuracy. Pokemon returns accuracy is normally 0, however, stats accuracy, like stats accuracy, can be affected by. Okay. Evasion, physical evasion. Okay. So Bubble, I think, is a special move. So it targets Blastoise's. Hold on. Making attacks. Here we go. An accuracy roll is always simply a d20, but is modified by the user's accuracy and by certain moves and other effects. Note that modifiers. Okay. An accuracy check is with the accuracy roll. For example, if using Earthquake, which has an accuracy check of 2 against an opponent with physical evasion of +4, you need to roll a 6 or higher. Okay. Let's see. Combat stages. Okay, so physical evasion. So the Blastoise's defense is 11, so that's +2 to physical evasion. Is Bubble a physical move? We're just going to use defense anyway. So that will make see. Okay. So we need to roll a 4 for the Bubble to hit the Blastoise. we roll. That was loud. Sorry, I rolled a 12. So that means bubble hits. And then there are damage. What is it called? Hold on. I need to pull up a different PDF. Useful charts. Damage bases. And Bubble's damage base is 4. So that's a d8 plus 6. And then we would add our attack stat to the damage rolled. So we need a d8. Let's see. I'll find one. There's one. I rolled a 2. Plus 6, that's 8. Plus our attack stat, which this Corefish's attack is 10. So that's 18 damage to the Blastoise. And then if we roll a 16 plus with Bubble, it would lower the Blastoise's speed by 1 stage. Oh wait, it wouldn't do 18. Then we would subtract the Blastoise's defense, which is 16. Oh, so we still would have hit. So it actually takes 2 damage from Bubble, which is not a ton. Oh, we do get stab though. Hold on, because it's stab. Let me try and find out how to use stab. Stab. Damage base. Or stab. Though the damage base is increased by 2. Okay, so that means we would actually need to roll 2d8. Okay, hold on. Okay. Sorry, I don't know if this is very interesting, but got a moment of it myself. Sorry, I just threw dice on the floor. That was probably loud. I'm sorry. Mwah. So we have 2d8. Then we add 10. That's the damage base. So that wasn't a roll. 7 plus 10 is 17. Plus the 10 from our attack is 27 minus 16. And that would be the damage dealt. So stab increases the damage base by 2, which is a big boost. Which I'm pretty sure that's how it works in the game, right? Stab is very important. Stab is very important. So we would have done 9 damage. Let me find a calculator. 27 minus 16 is 11. It's 11 damage. So this is pretty decent, I suppose. Stab helps a lot there. And then we'll say, how much HP does the Corfish has? 31 HP total. Okay. Cool. Anyway, man, the pencil I used to write this down really needed to be sharpened, I think. Was it this one? No. What pencil was I using? It sucked. It really needed to be sharpened. It's so smudgy. Anyway, so that's how combat works, essentially. It sounds complicated, and then when you use it, it's pretty intuitive, I think. Stab makes it so you kind of have to look up what the damage base is, because it increases it by 2. And then in this game, there's also injuries. So if an attack deals enough damage, it might cause an injury. Generally, this happens when an attack deals massive damage or damage equal to or greater than 50% of a target's maximum hit points, or when a target is reduced to a certain hit point marker. 50% for the maximum hit points, 0 to negative 50 are, 0% 50%, 100%, and then every 50% thereafter. More details on injuries. Okay, let's look that up. So injuries are kind of nasty. They are. Injuries. There's a bunch of pages of injuries. Let's see. Suffocating. That's something. Okay. There we go. Gaining injuries. Massive damage, hit point markers. So our 11 damage to the Blastoise. The Blastoise has 64 total HP. So that would not have been enough to cause an injury to the Blastoise. But after like 2 or more 11 damages, it would get 1 injury. Okay. And in this game, Pokemon don't die or anything. They just faint. So, for example, a Pokemon or trainer that goes from max hit points to negative 150% of their hit points after receiving a single attack will gain 6 injuries, 1 for massive damage and 5 for hit point markers. Dealing with injuries. Let's see. What do they actually do? Dealing with injuries. For each injury a Pokemon or trainer has, their maximum hit points are reduced by 1/10. For example, Pokemon 3 injuries and 50 max health, max hit points could only heal up to 35 hit points, or 1/7 of their maximum. The artificial max hit point number is not considered when potentially acquiring new injuries, or when dealing with any other effects such as poison that consider fractional damage, or when dealing with hit point markers. All effects that normally go off the Pokemon's max hit points will still use the real maximum. See resting. Normal healing does not remove injuries. If a Pokemon is brought down to 50% hit points and is healed by, for example, a healed pulse, the injury is not removed. If they're then brought down to 50% again, they gain another injury for passing the 50% hit points marker again. Using healing to push Pokemon or trainers past the limits can thus be potentially dangerous, as it gives multiple opportunities to gain injuries. Optional role. If you really want to invoke a feeling of desperation, it's fine. So they just reduce your maximum hit points. That's all injuries do. And then you remove them by resting. Oh, death. Okay. There is death in this. Alright. Pushing Pokemon or trainers to the limits can result in even worse than injuries. Death. If a Pokemon or trainer has 10 injuries or goes down to either negative 150 hit points or negative 200% their hit points, whichever is lower in that negative 800 hit points is lower than negative 50 hit points during a non-friendly match, they die. Generally, Pokemon can hold back when instructed to do so when competing in friendly or at least sportsman-like matches, such as during league events or gym matches. Injuries are a different issue. The 10 injuries rule always applies. However, it is difficult for a Pokemon that is perfectly healthy to reach 10 injuries in a single match. So by taking proper care for Pokemon, this can be avoided. And then there are coup de grace. If something is fainted, you could just kill them. Yeah. Hi, Chloe, man. How you doing? So, yeah, how you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Okay. So let's see. So tired as well. I hope you feel better soon, Chloe, man. I'm sorry you're doing a little bad. So I think it would be not a bad idea to stat out some fairy types. The Pokedex is organized by number, not by type, unfortunately, which makes sense. There's not that many. I feel like there's not that many fairy types, right? So the base Pokedex for PTU only goes up through Gen 6, and then they have additional Pokedexes for Alola, Galar, and Sword and Shield DLC, and then a separate one for the Hisuian Pokemon. I vet today to put your dog down. Oh no, I'm sorry, sweetheart. That's awful. I would be doing more than a little bad. I'm so sorry to hear that sucks. Mwah, mwah, mwah. That's terrible. I'm sorry you had to do that, Kool-Aid Man. We dropped frames? Oh no. I'm sorry I dropped frames tonight, probably because I have a bunch of stuff open right now. Maybe that's why. I have no idea. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Kool-Aid Man. That's terrible. Okay, so I do have type changes. Quickly building NPCs. Okay. Classes and features. Encounter creation guide. Yay. The average Pokemon level of your PCs by 2. I don't remember what level my players' Pokemon are. So, okay. Quick setting Pokemon. 2 to 3 different species. Pick species that are easy to stat. And then 34 stats to focus on per Pokemon. Cool. All right, so let's pick 3 to 4 fairy types to make some stat blocks for. So with the Wimpods, I made 2 different Wimpods. But with these, I might just make one for each. And then they just fight those ones because they're not wild. They wouldn't be, in this case, they wouldn't be wild Pokemon. All right. Is Togepi fairy type? Togepi is mono fairy? Okay. Could do a Togetic. I always forget Togetic exists and that it looks like that. I always forget. I think I made this Blastoise level 15. I think I did. An ideal Pokemon for quickly statting an encounter has 1 attacking stat and HP is the highest base. Okay, so Togetic might not be the best one because its special defense is its highest stat and then special attack. So could work. it could work. Is Fairy weak to dark? Hold on. Yes. Fairy is weak to dark. Oh no. Excuse me. Dark is Fairy resists dark. Okay. Fairy is only weak to fighting. Dragon. Oh wait. What are you weak to, Fairy? You are weak to fighting bug and dark? Or no, you take. Hold on. You're weak to poison and steel. That's right. Poison and steel. That makes sense. Sorry, I can't read charts. All right. So, um, yeah, that works. So we could do Togetic as the big one. And then let me write this down. And I might do this later. Do Togetic. And then we could do for babies. Oh, they might not be. Well, I guess it wouldn't be quick saying them. I could just make them. Um, let's see. Let me look up a list of all the fairy types here. I forget Grimmsnarl's a fairy type. Spritzy. Mimikyu is Clefairy. I'd want it to be like quick, little quick Pokemon or like ones that can fly. I think we'll do Togetic and then maybe Cutie Flies. And then maybe one big Pokemon. What moves does Togetic get at? Oh, they're organized by type. Maybe. You get, so if we make it, let's see. So it'd have Charm, Growl, and Metronome. And then evolves at minimum level 10. So it would have no Charm, Growl, Metronome, Sweet Kiss. Yeah. So it would no Metronome, which would be interesting. So it wouldn't do very much carrying. So on the Pokedex, they all have a list of TMs and HMs they can learn, and then their egg moves, and then moves they can learn through tutors. So let's see, we could do some of those. So we're doing fairy type encounters because one of my player characters is from a family of very influential fairy type elementalists in that they can harness and take advantage of the elemental power of fairies. And she was born with the power to attune with dragon type stuff. So she can use Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail as a human and make it so her struggle attacks with her brass knuckles do dragon type damage instead of just normal type damage. So that's why I think we want to do some fairy typing. So, in terms of tutor moves, what would be interesting? Heal Bell. Maybe we could use Togetic as the support Pokemon for healing and stuff. Let's see. What does Heal Bell do? Heal Bell. Is that not in here? No, it's in references and oh no, it just took a second for the PDF to find it. Soothing Tone, Heal Bell. All targets are cured of any persistent status ailments, so that doesn't heal HP. I know water pulse. No, water pulse confuses stuff. I'm thinking of what's that water move that like aura ring? That's what I'm thinking of. Aura ring, right? What Pokemon moves heal other Pokemon? I don't know if we could do that. So its attacking moves would be Sweet Kiss and Metronome. I think if they wanted to get her, the player character back, this might just be a group of Pokemon looking for her, and maybe not want to attack her, just to be like, hey, we were told to come find you. Maybe we could do that. And then they can still fight him if they want to. So that works. We'll make them all level 10, and we'll do 3 or 4 Pokemon. I think that would work. Because their Pokemon have definitely leveled up, and then every time a player character catches a Pokemon they haven't caught before, they get 1 XP. So, and then each trainer for your trainer character needs 10 XP to level up to the next trainer level, and you need 10 every time. So, yeah, that works. What does metronome do? Let me pull up indices and reference. I think this has moves in it. Yeah, heal bell. Metro. No. Use it twice a battle. Okay. Metronome randomly uses any other move except for after you assist. Bestow, copycat, counter, covet, crafty, shield, destiny bond, detect, endure, feint, focus, punch, follow me, helping hand, king, shield, metronome, me first, mimic, mirror code. Okay. The GM helps to pick the random move. Okay. So it's just a random move. I don't think there's a metronome table. No, it doesn't look like it unless there's one here. No. Nope. Okay. So we just pick a random move. And then I pick Hyper Beam. Damage base is 15. It does 4d10 plus 20. Ouch. Target exhaust smite. See. Whoops. Combat. Combat stats. Making attacks. Struggle attacks. Let's see if we can find it. So Hyper Beam exhausts someone. I imagine it just means you can't move for a turn. Oh, that's a lot. Oh. Exhaust. If a move has the exhaust keyword, the user forfeits their standard and shift actions on the next turn. And forfeits their trainer's command, if any. Okay, so they just don't do anything on their turn. Except movement. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Cool. That that helps. So we'll do a togetic because I already fought a Blastoise and kicked its butt. Let's see. What other fairy types could we use? Spritzy? Should we use Cutiefly or Spritzy? We can use Spritzy. Let's see. Let's look at Spritzy's stuff. How do you spell Spritzy? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Spritzy. Its highest stat is HP, so that makes statting it pretty easy. Then it's a special attack and defensor. It would know. Let's see what level this evolve at. Minimum level 20. Okay. It would know Sweet Scent, Fairy Wind, Sweet Kiss, and Odor Sleuth. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. It's Fairy Wind. 6-1 target. Okay. It's a damage base 4 move. Okay, fair enough. Makes sense. And then Sweet Kiss. What does Sweet Kiss do? I already looked that up, didn't I? I feel like I did. I think I did. The target becomes confused. On a miss, the target suffers a -2 penalty to accuracy rolls for 1 full round. Okay, so it still does something even if it misses. Interesting. Okay, and then Elder Sleuth makes things easier to hit. I know that. Or is Odor Sleuth the one that makes it so normal moves can hit ghosts and vice versa? These normal type and fighting type moves can hit and affect ghost types. Yes, and these can see through the illusion ability moves with the illusion keyword. Okay, so that would let the Spritzy see through Zoroa's disguise, because my brother picked Zoroa as his starter. Then Sweet Scent, so its only attacking move would be Fairy Wind. And Sweet Scent lowers something's evasion. Yes. Targets hit by Sweet Scent can a -2 penalty to evasion. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Cool. Gotcha. All right. So Togetic and Spritzy. Should we find a third one? Because I'll have 3 player characters and then 3 of their Pokemon. So, yeah. Should we find it? Because they still all have baby Pokemon, but they killed a Blastoise in 3 hits. So, what's a big fairy type we could pick that would make a little bit of sense? Do Togetic, Floette, and 3 Spritzies. We could do that. Or a Rabombi, a Comfey. What's a Comfey's stats look like? this alphabetical? I don't know. Comfey. It has very high defense. It would know Helping Hand, Vine Whip, Flower Shield, Leech Seed, Draining Kiss, and Magical Leaf. So it would be a threat. It would know probably the most highest damaging attack in Magical Leaf. And Leech Seed. Leech Seed's pretty mean. Sure, I'll write it down. Comfey. We could also just like we could homebrew a type shifted Pokemon or a type synced Pokemon. We could add fairy type to like a Sneasel or something. Could do that. There's not a ton of fairy moves, so we could replace its. We could make it Dark Fairy. That's interesting. And give it. But I don't know what. Sweet Scent or Fairy Wind and stuff instead, but Minari. Oh, I forgot. I didn't have earbuds plugged in my monitor. Glad there wasn't any sound playing. I'm glad that wasn't happening. Okay. Hi, Minari. Thank you for the raid. There we go. Please go follow Minari if you're not already. She's awesome. She's a very pretty, sweet fox lady, wolf lady. She does lots of ASMR streams. Well, she streams ASMR. She's very good at it. She's very cozy. And she's very sweet. Please give her some love. Please, 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 and thank you. So it must be a yam. You are purple. You are purple. Hi, Pitchown? I'm sorry. I'm forgetting names. Thank you for coming with, right? Thank you, thank you. You're gonna go. Okay. I'll allow that. Armand did not like that you said go die, Minari. Did not like that. It's okay. No worries, Minari. Please take care of yourself, sweetheart. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. If you don't know me, hopefully I don't wake a bunch of you up. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Ketchup the Bear, your local Teddy Variety streamer. I do ASMR like this every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I do handcam ASMR on Sundays. Tonight, I rambling to myself about setting up encounters and world building and stuff for my tabletop game that I'm playing on Saturday. So I'm working through setting up some encounters. I was gonna do a lot. I was gonna work on it today, but I didn't end up doing that. Decided we'll do it during stream to motivate myself to do it. I don't know if this is very good content, but we're just talking to myself. So if you're curious, the game that the tabletop game we're playing is Pokemon Tabletop United version 1.05. That's the version I have on my computer right now. It's not officially made by Nintendo or anything. It's just a fan project. You can find it online yourself if you want to look into it. It's a really cool system. It's essentially just Pokemon, but on pen and paper. And I think it does a good job of emulating that feeling of playing Pokemon, catching new little monster friends. So my setting, I found Pokemon Tabletop United through um, researching on Google because uh, I went to a convention like 3 years ago, and I got a book called Poke Anatomy, which is not also not an officially licensed Nintendo product. It's just a book made by a guy. Um, and I even got it signed by the author. I got the cool exclusive convention version of the book. It's this very nice green hardcover with gold inlaying in it, um, with like this Pikachu in the middle, and like this magic circle kind of thing with Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos, and the three starters. It's cool. It's very cool. The author goes through the 100 original 150 and then plus Togepi, and explains, tries if the Pokemon were real, how they would work and stuff. And the one, the entry in the book that made me want to like play Pokemon D&D was Blastoises. It just seemed really cool. So in the book, the author posits that Blastoise has been domesticated so thoroughly for its selectively bred for its um, the amount of power it can exert through how much water and how strongly it can force water out of its shell. That if a domestic Blastoise, if a domestic Wartortle evolves into a Blastoise and attempts to fire water out of its back, the bladder that holds the water for the cannons would rupture because of the pressure, um, and it would die. So the cannons, giant metal cannons, are explained as they have to be surgically implanted into the Blastoise's shell, so they focus the beams of water out of the um, water bladder in the Blastoise's shell into a fine beam, which I think is really cool. I was like, so you could have a Blastoise on like every street corner, and it would fight fires. It's like a living fire hydrant. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. So then through research, I found Pokemon Tabletop United. Currently, I'm trying to pick some. I already picked them, but some Pokemon to make an encounter for. So I have 3 player characters right now. I have a bunch of friends that want to play it. um, 6 total. So I'm splitting both them into 2 groups of 3 to make this game more manageable. Because I ran D&D before with them, and I had like 7 player characters, and combat with like 3 orcs took like an hour or like 2 hours. It was nuts. Because so many turns. So 3 trainers with their Pokemon each is plenty. 6 trainer characters. I would have to be throwing like level 30 Pokemon at them for it to be any challenge really. If they're all fighting one Pokemon. Um, uh, so my group is this current group of 3 is my brother, one of my friends, and then my friend's wife. And my brother is like a he's his trainer is a dark type ace, as in he specializes in dark types. And then my friend is a marksman. He has guns. Because Pokemon Tabletop United has a fantasy module that has fantasy and martial inspired classes, and one of them is a marksman. And he has a rifle and a pistol and stuff, and or I think right now he just has a cowboy rifle. Um, but he put a hole clean through a Wimpod with it when we played the first time. It was pretty cool. Like the gun does so much damage. It's crazy. And then his wife is a dragon type elementalist, which is a class from the fantasy module. And there's an elementalist class for every Pokemon type, and they get to channel the elemental powers of that specific Pokemon type. So dragon type elementalists get to use Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail as a person, and they can make it so their struggle attacks, their weapon attacks, do Dragon type damage instead of normal type damage, and um, they get a bunch of other stuff, um, and they're really cool. And her player character hails from a very influential family of uh, um, stuck up fairy type elementalists, and she was born with an attunement to the dragon type, which is weak to fairy. And so she found a baby Dino or a Dino egg somehow. I haven't figured that out yet. And ran away from home. So she's on the run. So I'm picking a couple fairy type Pokemon that her family would have sent out to like look for her, because they want to find her, because she's still a member of the family, but they don't really like her because she can't use fairy type poke powers. She can still train fairy types, but so far I picked a Togetic, and then we'll probably do 2 or 3 Spritzies and then a Comfey as the encounter, um, which they may or may not fight. I don't know, because these Pokemon are from her family. They would know her, so they might not want to fight her. They were just told to find her and bring her home, and so they might fight. Anyway, so we picked those 3. I still have to stat them out. I don't know if I'll do that on stream. It's already been 2 hours. The break starts about 2 minutes. Just heads up. Mwah. We have the final ad break of the stream in about 2 minutes. And then we'll probably call a night here in like 20 minutes. We'll find someone to raid here in a bit. But the Pokemon Tabletop United version I have, the Pokedex only goes through Gen 1 through 6, so X and Y, and then they have additional Pokedexes of just Alola, Galar, and the DLC stuff, and then Hisui and Pokedex. So no Gen 9. No Gen 9 Pokemon, unfortunately, but that's okay. The only Gen 9 Pokemon, the only Pokemon I really like up the decent amount from Scarlet and Violet are Fido and Dashbun. Is that what it's called? What's it called? Yeah, Dashbun. Because it's just so cute. It's very cute. Anyway, so we have our 3 Pokemon, our 3 species of Pokemon. Now we need to stat them. Excuse me. I think I'll do a Togetic, 2 Spritzies, maybe 3. I don't think I'm going to make stat out 3 individual Spritzies, just to make my life a little easier. Let's see. Quick setting Pokemon. So we have Pokedex here. Let's do the Togetic first. Or should we do Spritzy because it's a baby Pokemon? It's a stage 1 Pokemon. Okay. Hi, Bun Bunny. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing? Mwah. Oh, and this thing you're looking at on the screen right now, it's the world map of my Pokemon region. It's the Pectian region, and Pecti or Peck is like sin in Latin. And so it's the setting is like Wild West themed, like so Wild West cowboys and outlaws and stuff. The land of sin. I don't know. It fits, I guess. And so I don't have. But I'm doing good, Bun Bunny. I'm doing good. almost out of water. I gotta fill my water after stream. But this program is called Wonder Draft. It's a map built making program. About it, like I did some research a few years ago, like 3 years ago, about for looking for good map building programs. There's a couple. There's Rock V3, I think it's called, on Steam. Sorry. And you can like make whole planets, and it'll simulate continents and oceans and stuff for you. That wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but you can also just use pen and paper, and there's a method of like dumping a bunch of marbles or dice on a piece of paper, and then drawing an outline over around those to get your shape. There's a bunch of ways, but this it's not a free program. It was $30, but it's really nice terrain tools, and then it has a bunch of little stickers or little icons you can put on your map. So it has a bunch of little grasses and trees and mountains and cactuses and houses and fields. And the mountains and trees and stuff are all paint brush tools. Thank you for the stretch bunny. Thank you. Mwah. And to actually be the color of the terrain that they're on top of. So that's why this random mountain right here is like a brown color. Because right there is like probably a little lake or something, and then it changed color to this. So yeah, it's really cool, and there's a bunch of terrain colors. We click land, or brush. Go here. Regions. No. It's been a while. Paths. Overlay. It's been forever since I looked at this thing. Welcome back from the ad break, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. This is, you can generate a world for it as well. It's been forever since I looked at this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the river tool. So you can build a little river. So we go here. We can put a little river, like right there. It's cool. And Control Z works. You have to return. Welcome back, Bun Bunny. Yeah, you can put a little river. You can paint some water. You can paint water on. I don't remember where the land. Paint the land. That's water. The ground texture. Worn. There's a way to. Oh, right here. There it is. So there's a bunch. My big head's in the way, but there's a couple color swatches you can pick here, and you can brush on some stuff. Like, that's really tiny. That's really big. We are zoomed in quite a bit. You can color in some orange there. If we wanted. It's a very cool map building program. It's very cool. It's very cool. I might try deleting this mount. It's fine. It's just blocking the bit of water there. It's fine. Anyway. Anyway. It's very cool. It's not free. I think it was like $30 when I bought it a couple years ago. At least 3 years ago. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm doing all right. We're just doing some encounter planning for my tabletop session I'm running on Saturday for some friends and my brother. So we're going to set out a handful of Pokemon. As long as I remember here. So one of my player characters is a dragon type elementalist, so she gets to harness the powers of the elemental power of dragon types, and she gets to use Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail as a person, as a human being, and can make it so her struggle attacks, which are just basic attacks that people make, deal dragon type damage instead of normal damage. And she gets a bunch of other stuff. Let me see if I can pull it up. See, where is it? Oh, and the dragon type elementalist is called the Herald of Pride. So they get to they learn the moves Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail, and can use them use those attacks when they swing with their melee weapons. And then they can learn Dragon Rush and Outrage. And they get some buffs and stuff. It's cool. Very cool. It's very cool. For a little bit. Well, thank you, Bun Bunny. I appreciate it. That's very sweet of you. I'm glad you like the streams. I'm glad you like the streams. But the elementalist classes. Oh, and her character was born as a dragon elementalist, a herald of pride, but her family, she's from a very influential and kind of snooty family of, where is it? Fairy elementalists. They're called the Glamour Weavers. And they learn the move Sweet Kiss and Disarming Voice. What else do they do? I don't actually know. You perform a magical transformation on yourself. You can turn into a magical girl. It's cool. But she was born as a dragon elementalist in a fairy type elementalist family. So she ran away from home with her baby Dino that her family wanted her to get rid of because it's a dragon type. All that. So she's on the run. So we're going to start out some Pokemon that maybe they'll encounter while trying to leave town or something, or just going around town. And I picked a Togetic, probably 2 or 3 Spritzies, and then a Comfey. So we're going to stat them out. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm a little out of practice. But another cool thing about the fantasy module is that it lets you use type sync. It has a type sync feature for your trainer characters, which lets you perform an action and then change one of your Pokemon's types. So if it's monotype, it'll gain a dual type, and if it's dual type, the new type will replace one of those two. So my brother's playing as a dark type ace trainer, and he caught a Nidoran male last time we played, and he wants to eventually type shift it into dark and poison, because that's like the best typing ever besides Ghost Normal. Because Ghost Normal is broken. That's why we only have Hisui and Zoroark. Um, anyway, uh, but to do type sync, you have to have an elemental connection, which he does. He's a dark type ace, or I think you need at least 2 dark types to spec into dark type ace. So right now, I think he's just an ace trainer. So he needs to catch 1 more dark type. You need adept medicine, occult, or tech education, and then a Pokemon. So it essentially lets you make your own as a player. Lets you make your own regional type variants, which is very cool. It's very cool that it's in that they added that to the game. Very cool. Anyway, so we need to stat out these Pokemon. We'll do Spritzy first. I'm only going to stat out 1 Spritzy, just to make my life a little easier here. So I need to move the mic so I can put my sketchbook here down, my notebook. Oops, sorry. So Spritzy. I've never used a Spritzy in a Pokemon game. Never have. So I need to. So the game, the rule book has a guide for quick statting a Pokemon, so you don't sit there and do a bunch of stuff. But I might spend time studying out these carefully because they might be reoccurring Pokemon. Who knows? Excuse me, but we can decide that later. Let's see. So we need to go to a different part here. Pokemon. Managing Pokemon. So abilities. So Spritzy gets Healer as its ability. What does Healer do? Do you like Pokemon Bunny? Oh, it cures friendly creature of all status conditions. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So Pokemon's base stats. So in this game, in Pokemon Tabletop United, from what I recall, I'm pretty sure. So the Pokedex gives you the Pokemon's base stats. And as a rule, in Pokemon Tabletop United, you have to maintain the base relations rule. You can house rule it, you don't have to do that, but that essentially means its highest base stat always has to be its highest stat. So Spritzy, for example, has 8 HP, 5 attack, 6 defense, and 6 special attack, and then 7 special defense, and then 2 speed. So just a rule of thumb, Spritzy's HP always has to be its highest stat, and speed always has to be its lowest. Defense and special attack are the same, so one can be higher than the other, but can't be higher than the next highest stat, which is 7. So we could make if we had like one stat to allocate here, we could make defense 7. See, okay. And then they have a nature. There's 1 to 36 natures, and those also raise one stat and lower one, or some are neutral. Yeah. So before we do anything, we need to determine the Spritzy's nature. So does someone want to give me a number between 1 and 36? 1 to 36? If anyone wants to do that. That will give us Spritzy's nature. And then we can allocate stats here. Okay, let's read this. Okay. Start by checking the Pokedex to see the Pokemon's base stats. These are your starting point. For example, a Charmander has 4 HP, 5 attack, 4 defense, 6 special attack, 5 special defense, and 7 speed. Next, to play Pokemon's nature. This will simply raise one stat and lower another. HP is only ever raised. Okay, so let me write these down. Write these down. Well, let's pick the nature. So let me go to a random number. Minimum max 10. I'm going to pick 36. And then generate number. We get 31. Okay. All right. So that means the Spritzy's nature is composed, which is a neutral nature. So we just have its base stance to deal with. Okay. So we just have the base stats to play with here. So HP is 8, then attack is 5. I've never used a Spritzy in a Pokemon game. I just never felt the need to. I played through my copy of Pokemon Y and finished the game. Pokemon Y was the first Pokemon game I ever finished. Like beat the Elite Four, as in finished. And I did a playthrough, and like, there's a lot of team building you can do in X and Y just because there's a ton of Pokemon in them, not a ton of new Pokemon. So if you want to play through X and Y only using new Pokemon, you don't have a ton of options for some types. And you can only do that like a handful of times. But my team was my starter. I can only remember Ferroseed and Palatoad. And I just remember I kicked the game's butt because Palatoad and Ferroseed are just like crazy good Pokemon. And I'd never used a Palatoad before. I had a good time with my Palatoad. Defense is 6. And special attack is 6. And then special defense is 7. And speed is 2. Why is Spritzy's speed so low? Because it just kind of floats around. All right, so we have its base stats now. Its nature is neutral. So we add X plus X stat points, where X is the Pokemon's level plus 10. So we're gonna make this Spritzy. I don't think I want to do level 10. That might be too much. for these guys, we'll do level 5 because our player character Pokemon are level 5. And now they each have at least 2 Pokemon. So that's fine. And we'll make the Comfy level 10, I think. Maybe that's too much. We'll find out. Maybe we'll do, yeah. We'll do level 10. And then the Togetic will be level 8. We can do that because Togetic doesn't learn anything level 10. I don't think. We can do that. Anyway, so a Spritzy, we'll make them we'll do 2 Spritzies. Well, I'll figure that out later. Anyway. So the Spritzy is going to be level 5. So we get 15 stat points. So we get 15 points. So we want to have pretty decent HP and special attack and special defense. But oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So HP has to be the highest. So if we want to put special attack at, say, 10, we want to add 4 points to it. We would then need to add enough to HP where we can put special attack at 10. So I gotta do some math in my head here. I'm not very good at that. But special defense is higher than our special attack. So that means special defense always has to be higher, at least 1 point higher. So we will, if we would put 5, let's see, let me pull up my calculator. Okay, we'll call it after I set out the Spritzy, and then I'll do the rest off stream because it is getting late. Is 13. That should be enough. So we'll give the Spritzy 13 HP at base. So it leaves us with 10 points. Then if we put if we want to get 6 to 10, we need 4. So if we put, that means special defense has to be 11 at least. So that's 4 points, right? Yeah, because 7 plus 3 is 10. So leaves us with 6 points, and special defense is now 11. So that means we can use 4 of our 6 remaining points to put special attack at 10. And that leaves us with 2 points. We can put 1 in defense, and then, or we dump both of them into speed to give them 4 speed, although that doesn't do much. 4 speed doesn't even get us +1 evasion. So that's not, yeah, we could just pump the last 2, put 1 into special defense and then another into special attack. So we have, yeah, we'll do that. So we have 12 special defense and then 11 special attack. We'll do that. So now we have our stats, our points allocated. Now we need to calculate this particular Spritzy's max HP. And the HP, how we get HP is we take our Pokemon level, which is 5. And then and multiply. So we multiply our HP by 3. So we take 13, multiply it by 3, which is 39. And then we add our Pokemon level, that's 5. And then add 10. So the Spritzy's base HP is 54, which is pretty good for level 5 Pokemon. That's probably normal for a level 5 Pokemon. Cool. That's all done. So that's the Spritzy started out, and then we need to give it its ability. Pokemon have a variety of abilities. They usually have most usually have one basic ability, which you get when the Pokemon is born or caught. If you have more than one basic ability, you get to pick one of those as the DM or let GM or let the trainer pick. And then at level 20, the Pokemon gets a second ability, which is chosen from its basic or advanced abilities. So Spritzy's basic ability is Healer, which lets us cure an ally of all status ailments or self. Actually, I don't know if it can target ourselves. We can target ourselves. An adjacent Pokemon or trainer, yeah, so we can't target ourselves with Healer, which isn't that bad. That makes sense. It's also a free action, so basically a bonus action in D&D terms. All status conditions. So let me write that down. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry about that burp. That was gross. And then at level 40, we get a third ability, which can be chosen from any of its abilities. So we have basic abilities, advanced abilities, and then a high ability, which can be chosen. Cure target of status. Okay, and then that's our ability. Now we need moves. So a Pokemon may learn a maximum of 6 moves from all sources combined. However, certain abilities and features may allow a Pokemon to bypass this limit. Pokemon may fill as many of its move slots as it likes with moves from its natural move list. And then this includes all moves from Level Up Egg moves and all tutor moves marked with an N. However, no more than 3 of Pokemon's moves may be from TMs and move tutors, with the exception of the natural tutor moves noted above. Any feature that requires tutor points to cause Pokemon to learn moves is considered a tutor. If a Pokemon learns a move via TM or move tutor that it can later learn via level up, once Pokemon has the opportunity to learn it naturally, that move becomes counted as a natural move. Yeah. And Pokemon get a certain number of points per level. I think at level 5, I can't remember what it's called, but it determines how many TMs the Pokemon can know, or something like that. It takes those points away when you teach it a TM, so you can't just stuff your Pokemon full of TM moves. Something like that. Yeah, it's the move limit. Let me look that up because I want to make sure I'm doing that right. Where is it? Oh, There it is. Move limit. There's only two pages with move limit on it. Okay, let's see. Tutor move limit. Oh. Let's see. On any other pages? Probably not. Where did I even find that from? I remember that being a thing. Let me see. Where can I find that? Pokemon. Poke edges. Fishing. Managing Pokemon. Moves. Oh, it says right there. Oh. Hold on. I feel like there was something related to that. Am I dumb? Oh, I feel like that was around here somewhere. Leveling up. Tutor points. That's what it is. Okay, I just had to scroll down 2 pages. Many features which permanently change an aspect of a Pokemon require a Pokemon to spend tutor points. Each Pokemon upon hatching starts with a single precious tutor point. Upon gaining level 5 and every other level, evenly divisible by 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. Pokemon gain another tutor point. Tutor points are stored until used by a TM, a feature, or Poke Edge. Once used, tutor points are lost forever. Most often, these features tech moves teach what the blah blah blah. These features teach moves but may alter other aspects of a Pokemon. Features which apply to your Pokemon will have all effects removed and the tutor points refunded if those Pokemon are given to another trainer. You can also gain tutor points through heart boosters, which are vitamins that grant 2 tutor points. Okay. So our Spritzy has 2 tutor points, which we can use to teach it some tutor moves if we wanted. We don't have a ton of good options here. We have some TMs we can teach her. We could, so we can have 6 moves. And, at level 5, we know Sweet Scent. We know Sweet Scent and Fairy Wind. Sweet Scent, let me look it up real quick. The AC. Two. It's 2. Penalty. 2. Evasion. And yeah. Okay, so that's what Sweet Scent does. Then we have Fairy Wind. And Fairy Wind is also AC2. And damage base 4. It's a D8. Okay, hold on. 8 plus 6. And then it's a special attack. Okay. And then that's all of our moves we get from that. If we want, we can give our Spritzy 2 tutor moves, or 2 TMs, which I don't know if we want to do that. We can though. Let's see, what's a good one? We can. I don't know if I want. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We can give the other one, the bigger threats, some tutor moves. And that is our Pokemon statted out. As far as I'm aware, this Pokemon does belong to a trainer, but I don't have that trainer created or anything. So, eventually I'm going to have to sit down and make some trainers. I'm going to have to do that eventually. Okay. Cool. And that's the Spritzy started out. It's not too hard. At least when you make level 5 Pokemon, because you have to look up a bunch of Pokemon moves and remember what they do. Alright. Let's get the heck out of here. Let's get you guys. Get out of your guys' hair here. So we can't raid Minari. We can't raid Minari. Okay, let's save and then close that, and we're good. Okay, and let's see here. Who we got? Oh, give me 1 second to swap my headphones, and we'll look for someone to read. Just want to make sure no one's ending stream. Okay, 1 second. I will be right back. Okay. Let's see. Have any of the usual suspects? Let's see. Raven is doing just chanting. Yeah, that's not very ASMR. Okay. We have a ton of people right now. Convoys, I think. I thought I saw Convoy. Oh, Convoy streaming. Okay. We can raid Convoy. We have not raided Convoy in a long time. Oh. Oh, okay. He said, I think it's time. And it was a pause. I thought he was going to say, it's time to end. Okay. Ooh. All right. We're going to go say hi to Convoy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for the raid, Minari. Thank you. I appreciate it lots. Yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for some Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, thank you guys for spending time with me tonight. Thank you. I appreciate, love you all very much. Yeah. I'm sorry the mic made some weird noises earlier today. Sorry about that. Um, hopefully, hopefully it didn't do that again. No one said anything, so um, that's good. All right, I'm gonna go get some food, get a snack, and then stat out a togetic and comfey. All right, let's get started. I don't know if this was a very good ASMR stream, but I wanted to do this, and we did. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Get some food, get some water, take your meds, take your vitamins, brush your teeth, floss, use mouthwash, put on some cozy pajamas. It's getting cold. It's pretty cold out there. Um, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Please be nice to Convoy. Bye bye. Good night. Bye bye. Love you. Bye bye.